Season's officially finished after Champions League final yesterday. Playoff final finished last week with Championship, and we got to see loads of crying kids in Leeds tops on Wembley Way, so that were a good ending. But I'm going to tell you the top 50 Championship players from this season. I'm going to get straight in there with Brad Collins at 50. Keeper for Coventry, joined him in summer from Reds, originally as a number 2. Got into the team about November. Asian has been stood in there ever since. Really good, solid keeper. Keeper for West Brom, played 46 times this season. As far as centre-backs go in this league, he's one at best, I think, to be honest. West Brom aren't really a squad full of unreal players. I feel like Carlos is the best asset, the manager, but Kipri, I would say, has been a standout in that team. Luca 9, same again, 43 games for Sunderland, a real leader. Good player this season. Shea Adams, maybe quite low, to be honest, but he's not started every game. He's been good when he's actually played. He's got 16 goals. I feel like he's probably too inconsistent to be any higher on this, but he's still being good. Oh, he won't be on it, would he? Kijana Hoover, as far as right-backs go, is bang on. Stoke are crap, to be honest, but he is a tidy little player. A lot of good teams at Championship could do a lot worse than him at right-back. 9 goal contributions for a team that's been arse all season. He's good going. Jonathan Rowe for Norwich, he's got 12 goals off wing. I feel like people are going to think this one is too low, to be honest. Like, the potential is there to be right at top of this list or further. It should be a Premier League player in time, but that doesn't mean that he's there yet. Do you know what I mean? He's had a very good start at season, but after his injury in February, he's not been the same player at a couple of games that he's had since he's come back, I don't think. He's still a good player and he's had a good season. That's why he's on here. Hume for Sunderland, very solid. About it. Moat at West Brom, again, very solid. He's come good this season. This has been his best year since leaving Barnsley, I'd say. And he's just decent at everything. He's knocking on a bit, though, now at ripe old age of 29. He will need a walking stick soon. But he's been good this year. What? Zizou next. Zian Fleming has been Millwall's best player, I would say. Not as good as last year. He'd have been a lot higher on last year's list if I did this. But he's still one of very few standouts for them this year in what has been an underwhelming season, you could say, for Millwall. NG. I don't want to say anything crazy. I refuse to let my account be banned for me mispronouncing something. So I'm just going to say NG. Very good right back in what has been another boring crap year for Cardiff, who are just not good enough to get into bridge gap to playoffs, but he's been the best player, I think. First 10 down, we're at 40. Small bone for Southampton. I think he is mint. I feel like he don't get the credit he deserves for how good he actually is. Just controls game, 11 goal contributions for a midfielder that isn't really attacking minded. Is top draw. His passing's brilliant. He can do a bit of everything. I really rate him, small bone. I really do. Harry Winks, similar reasoning, just controls game. He's a 7 out of 10 always. You never really know that he's there. But I would say for a 6, really, that's quite a good thing. If you've noticed in a 6, it's probably because he's done something wrong. He's given ball away. He's f***ed up somewhere, hasn't he? But for Winks, you just never know he's there. And I think that's a good thing. You don't need to do anything special in that position. Just pass ball 5-10 yards sideways to somebody better than you. Grady Dean Garner. Now, I expect more from this bloke. Honestly, I really do. He's only averaged 66 minutes a game this season. He's still got 15 goal contributions, but it's frustrating when you know what someone's capable of and they're not doing it. Like, they're not living up to the potential. I remember Mark Noble saying he was fuming when he left West Ham. He thought we were going to be next Pele, and he just turned out to be a good Championship player, which is frustrating, and it's still been a decent year, but by his standards, I want more. I want more! Cooper, Plymouth's keeper, one of the best keepers in this league. End of. Hellick at Huddersfield. I mean, Huddersfield a toss, and he's been their only good player from outside looking in, to be honest, I think. Not because he's from here as well. I should have probably won a different top for this video, to be honest. But he's got 9 goals from centre-half. He's a threat at both ends. If he's in League One next season, still at Huddersfield, I will do a video eating me mic. I will eat this mic live on a YouTube video if he's still at Huddersfield. He's way too good for them. Wouterberger for Stoke. Solid. Can do a bit of everything again. Very handy player. Don't think he'll be at Stoke next season. And Stoke have got some pull. So that tells you how good he is. Bobby Thomas, another Cov player, another ex-Red as well. Bought him on cheap from Burnley after the season that he was last year. He's a top centre-back. He's really good. And another Cov boy. He's his teammate in Eccles. Cov's midfield is arguably one at best in league, I would say. Him and Ben Sheaf in middle work so well together. A bit ass at end of season, but overall he's mint. But that's just Coventry season as well. Started really well, got to Man United game, and then their ass fell out after that. I've got another midfielder in Grimes next for Swansea. He is criminally underrated, honestly. He never misses a game. He's good at everything. He's exactly what you want in a midfielder. Exactly what you want. And Swansea been crap this year, and he's still been good. He criminally underrated, is Grimes. Next up, I feel like this is going to get a bit of stick as well. I've got Josh Sargent for Norwich. He has only played 26 games. So I'm taking that into account. I'm being a bit cheeky, really, including him. Has he done enough to even be on this list? But 16 goals in 26 games. That is a serious return, that, isn't it? From a personal point of view, for him, it's been a good year, even though Norwich didn't go up. But only 26 games. It's not his fault. Injuries, obviously, they happen. But more next season from Josh Sargent. I want more. Top goal scorer. That's what I want. Number 30, Mr. Burns. One of the key players in our McKenna and Ipswich like to play. Scored that absolute screamer dinner as well earlier on this season with outside of his foot from a right wing back. He's been a massive part on why they've done so well. He is mint. He'll be one of them, like a 4.5 million defender next season, because Leif Davis will be more, that might get like 150 points, something ridiculous. He's going to be one of them. Flynn Downs in at 29. He is everything a centre mid should be. Can pass it 10 yards and trap a ball. Bang on. What else do you want from a midfielder these days? Rodon is his first Leeds player on here. And I'm not acting good just because I've got a Barnsley top on and I hate him. Obviously, Leeds have done well this season, so a lot of their players are high up in this list. So, put your nappy away. Pick your lip up, Leeds fans. So I know you're already crying in comments. You've got players high up in this list. Calm down. But obviously, Rodon should be on here. He's on 50 grand a week. You know what I mean? Why would he not be on here? If he's not living up to that expectation, then something's going wrong. Anyway, Woodfaz, I would have slightly better than him in 27th, but still, these are two at best centre-halves in the league easily, I would say. Amari Hutchinson, I've got next. I think this will get the most backlash or the most people disagreeing with. But at the start of this season, from my memory, he was quite poor. Like, I weren't overly impressed with him, to be honest, in the first 6 months until he got to, like, Christmas. As it went on, he's got better and better. And people feel like I've got short-term memories to the point where they're thinking, well, last month he's been one of the best players in the league, so he should automatically be, like, top 5. No. He's a big game player. He's scored some very important goals that have got Ipswich over the line in a couple of games. Overall, very good player, and one that Ipswich should definitely be trying to get next season for Premier League. But there's been a lot of players that are better than him from start to finish in this league this year. Such as Alan Brown, who is Preston's best player. I think they've offered him a record contract, which for Preston you'd imagine might be like 20 grand a week-ish, and he's turned it down. So that shows you how good he is and how sought after he's going to be. He's a top championship player. He'll end up going to a team that's probably maybe come down or one of favourites for a top 2 next season. He is really good. Never know how to say this bloke's name, but the Watford centre-half, Hoedit, something like that. As far as centre-halves goes, one of the best in this league, and he plays in a crap team. He is bob on. Very good player. Chappers, 13 goals, 8 assists, speaks for itself. Very good forward. And playing 10 as well. He can do everything, to be honest, Chaplin. He's very, very good. And we sold him for about 500 grand. Ilias Chair. He is QPR's best player by a mile. Anytime I watch QPR, which one at times happened to be when they put 4 past Leeds, it is just an highlight reel of him. It's just him. He's got 7 goals, 8 assists. He could have double the amount of assists if he were playing in a better team. He would. It genuinely would. I am convinced that one day he will break the record for assists in Championship, either at QPR or somewhere else. Especially if he goes to a top team, he will break it because he has got creative genes. It just flows through his blood. He's unreal. Even when he's not getting the goal contributions, which is what you'd expect from someone like him, he's still the best player, literally every game. Next up, I have got Johansson for Rotherham, who's now gone to Stoke. And yeah, he might have conceded 89 goals. He's Rotherham's keeper. But if it weren't for him, genuinely Rotherham would have conceded like 150. It'd have been the record amount of goals conceded in any league in history. Ever. He's the only player Rotherham that get a game anywhere else in Championship, anywhere, or even top end of League One. That is how crap Rotherham's squad was. He's got literally one of the worst Championship teams ever stood in front of him. Obviously, he's a fantastic keeper. I genuinely think he's been the best keeper in this league this season, which is crazy for a team that's finished on 27 points. But that just shows you how shit Rotherham's team is. It's terrible. If it weren't for him, they'd have been relegated in November. Even though they didn't last much longer, but honestly, that's how bad they are. In at 20, I have got Mavididi. 18 goal contributions, very good, but he's playing in best team in the league, one of the best squads ever in Championship. He's done very well, but he has to do more for me, to be honest, to go further up in this list. Ipswich captain Sam Moores is next. I feel like I'm going to say the same thing I have for a lot of these midfielders. He can just do everything. He's a real leader, someone who can drag you through games, one of the best players in this league, easily, and one of Ipswich's best players, and one of the reasons that they've gone up. And another ex-Red. Howard Bellis. We're getting into serious players here now. Howard Bellis is one of the best 3 centre-backs in this league, I would say. Southampton have got a serious diamond here. I don't know if they've got a buy option for him or an obligation from City. Either way, just absolutely brilliant player. Ricardo Pereira, Leicester's right back. One of the lads that's been there and done it with Leicester for years now, is as good as right backs come in Championship. He is the best. Then coming in at 16, another one that's going to have people scratching their eyes. I've got CeeLo Green. Fiddler Gene. Absolutely brilliant player. Long term, I can see him being a Palace, Wolves, someone like that. He'll be a mid-table top half Premier League team. 18 goal contributions in 32 games is ridiculous. But he's only played 32 games. You know what I'm saying? Like Josh Sargent's got ridiculous goal record, but I feel like you have to take into account the full season. I do think he's very consistent for a winger though. He's not on fire for 1 month and then crap for the next 2 weeks. He's always very, very good, which I think is rare for a winger. But I would have him around here at 16th. Speaking of consistency, Bin Azaz at Middlesbrough is not really that. At Plymouth, until January, he were an absolute nutcase. This season for both teams in Plymouth and Middlesbrough, he's got 11 goals and 10 assists. He's got double figures on both. Middlesbrough still haven't seen the best of him yet, I feel like. I feel like he's maybe got better as he's gone on for them. And next year, he will be one of the best players. I feel like he'll be one of the players to look out for next year in this league for Azaz. Down middle or off left, he were an absolute bargain at £2 million from Villa. Unreal business. Definitely want to look out for next year. Now, Jacob Greaves. This guy, I think, is the best centre-back in this league. I feel like he's the best. If he's on it Prem this summer, I don't even know anymore. Hull must have they must have naked pictures of him or something. There's no way he's staying there. I don't think I've actually ever seen him have a bad game. Like, it's past being like, it's alright saying someone's a 7 out of 10. He's like an 8.5 out of 10 every single week, constantly, always. He's so consistent. He's so good. Maybe an outside shout at a future England player in a few years. Kyle Walker-Peters, obvious, he's mint. For Tuwu next, 19 goal contributions. He's just a better Mavididi, in my humble opinion. Both Leicester wingers are very, very good. 2 at best in the league, but I would say for Tuwu is better. Just missed out on top 10, Ben Sheaf. I would describe him as a destructive midfielder. That's how I call him. He's like 6'1", nearly as tall as me. Tall, strong, can go up against anybody. He's like the Championship Matic, long legs. It'd be horrible to try and run past. Imagine trying to run past someone like that athletic, that big. You've got no chance. That is how I would describe him anyway. He's a main cog in Coventry's relative success. Now into top 10. Rooter at Leeds. You're probably going to start crying because he's not high enough. He's got 6 goals, 15 assists. I do think he benefits from how Leeds set up, where the tactics are just get ball to him and Somerville and see what happens. But he's obviously very talented. He's one of the best players in this league. But again, I feel like you've got to take context into account. This guy's on 70 grand a week. So, is it a surprise? Jack Clarkin at 9. 15 goals, 4 assists. Started this year shit hot. I feel like the little injury he got near end has affected him a little bit. It weren't as good when he came back. But that's just Sunderland in a nutshell, isn't it, this season? All at squad were on beach by that point anyway. I think he's had a really good year, Jack Clark. So I'd have him in 9th. Number 8. Morgan Whittaker. 19 goals, 8 assists. Lazio were flirting with him in January, and I'm not surprised, to be honest. This will end up being best £1 million ever spent by Plymouth. He'll go for at least 10 million quid easily, and he's only 23. Fantastic winger. Absolutely ridiculous decision from Swansea to let him go for so little, but that's how the cookie crumbles sometime, man. 7th, Ampadu, another Leeds boy. He has been playing at centre back for a lot of this season, but he is better as a 6, definitely. As we saw in playoff final when Armstrong just blitzed him when he was out of position for 2 seconds. But Ampadu's unreal. Like, he looks a step above everyone else when he's playing, doesn't he? Realistically. He does look like a top-half Premier League player that's just been plopped in a championship team. Which is what that is what it is. Sarah for Norwich at number 6. 13 goals, 12 assists. He can play almost anywhere. Brilliant attacking-minded player. And he's a serious finisher him as well. To say he's not a striker, the way he hits the ball, it looks like one. He don't miss a lot of chances when he's in them positions. He's very, very clinical. Brilliant finisher. Now, top 5. Adam Armstrong. I'm very, very tempted to put him first after recent events and him being an ex-Barnsley boy as well, obviously. 21 goals, 13 assists. That's 34 goal contributions. He's best striker in this league. He is a born finisher. He is rapid. The timing of his runs is flawless. He is a Premier League striker. 4th, Jude Briall. I would say he's the most talented player in this league, but a couple of them have had better seasons. He's just good every week, and his passing range is ridiculous. He's at the heart of everything good that Leicester do. He's got 26 goal contributions from Middle at Park, which is daft, but he is not in the top 3, and there's no prizes for guessing who they are. Leif Davis is 3rd. He's got 18 assists from left back. That is most in the league. He should honestly be in and around England squad. Like, honestly. If he has an half-decent season next year for Ipswich in Premier League, he'll be back up to Shaw at World Cup or something. And he should be. He's at most assists in the league from fullback. A no-brainer. But top 2, and it's always going to be between these two in it. I'm not even just saying this as well for the top that I've got on. Let me just reiterate that again. Somerville I have got in 2nd. His ceiling does not exist. He is going right to the very top. 19 goals, 9 assists. He's always going to be in top 2. But the best player in the Championship this season is Sammy Smodics. And I don't think he's even up for debate. He's the top scorer. He's not even a striker. He plays for a shit team. Yeah, there's more to football that maybe Somerville can do that Smodics can't. But football is about scoring goals. It's the hardest thing to do in football. And Smodics is the best at it. And he's not even a striker. Put it this way, he has single-handedly kept Blackburn in Championship this year. He's done it on himself. I don't care what anybody says. You swap him with anyone else in this league this year, literally anybody, and Blackburn go down. That is the way that I see this. It's simple as that. He has been the best player in the league this year. Sammy Smodics, my number one. And that is that. Thank you all for watching. As always, I'm going to be doing Euro content very soon. So you better watch out. You better be subbed. You better have that bell turned on because you do not want to miss this. Okay? And obviously my League One predictions when a certain team in red are going to win League 100 points. But thank you all for watching as always. Love you all and see you in a bit. Yeah!